Sort of see you here. Seems to be all right. Here. I'm gonna turn off the phone.
Turn off the phone?
Yeah, should be better now. Okay, so it looks to be working fine right now.
You just don't have enough light.
Yeah, it's kind of cloudy here.
We're both facing the wall.
Your end looks fine, but
yeah, I'll turn
let's see what I was going to say here. Have you heard about the big thing in the news about all the policies and laws about the, what's they call it? I don't know what they call that. Gender identity. See, that's the correct term. They had a law that was passed in North Carolina preventing, I think, individuals from, like those who had certain, like they decided to identify as one gender or another or something like that, they would prevent them from going to certain public facilities. Oh, yeah. And then they had to overturn that because in North Carolina, at least, they were affecting, to the point where it was affecting the economy, from what I heard.
Yeah, well.
But they changed that.
They designed the bathrooms right. You know, it's like in a family, you have all different genders sharing the same bathroom. It doesn't. That's if everybody wants to do the right thing. The problem is the people that don't want to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's just why do you think now more than ever people are having this self-choice of gender identity?
Where you can identify gender you choose to.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who, you know, they're born one way and they want to identify as another way. Oh, see what it's doing here.
I'm not hearing you. I heard they were born one way and stopped.
I said born one way and they might choose to identify as another way or something. I guess the biggest example right now would be what's his name? Bruce Jenner changing himself to, what's his name? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. Well, you know, he always felt a gender, or he came to that conclusion. It's a psychological thing, and people like to look.
Well, do you think it's possible? Because what big debate right now that's going on is there's people who are thinking that this is a disorder. That's what they call gender identity disorder, or they argue that this is something that's natural because it's seen in other species where some animals might be born another way, but biologically they changed. I think they're talking about how some frogs and some other fish and lizards or something like that,
what difference if it's simply because you prefer to the role of a different gender? Live it.
Yeah, it's just right now it's just the big debates is what to do with the laws and all that, because I think they originally passed the law, at least in North Carolina, for purpose of different protection. Like, for example, say somebody, well, let's say a guy decides to identify as a woman, and because of that chooses to go into a women's restroom by choice because of his identity, if that would cause any issues. And I think because the law, they tried to make it that simply men have to go to men's restroom and women have to go to women's restroom. And because of that, I think especially with
label is identified by the anatomy or by their psyche?
By their psyche, I imagine that's what they're talking about.
So what do you do with people who have traits of both genders? They go in.
Yeah, I mean, just the thing is with those laws, I mean, they have it from a, I guess, a conservative standpoint that if you're born this way, you have to go there. If you're born another way, you have to go there. But just a lot of people have been debating that, especially within the transgender community, that this is not something that's fair or something that should be done. And because of that, it's hard to argue what should be done, because one side, everyone says, you should be able to go to wherever you want, while the other side says, no, that should not be what's going on.
Well, I know what you're saying, but that this is only a problem because we build these great big bathrooms.
Well, do you think that there should be more than individual restrooms or individual stalls?
The problem would be solved by having rooms with a door and a lock, that it doesn't matter what you are. You just, if you're the only one in, who cares? That's the solution, instead of doing all this who's sinful or who's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, what they should be doing more often, which, I mean, just creating what they call like family restrooms, which some places are doing.
I mean, now they've finally started putting baby changing stations in the men's room, because men,
like, they do have that. I know, at least at the airport, they have that in the men's rooms as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. But people that go in the bathroom would just soon there be nobody in there with them.
Yeah. Well, what I know that they're doing, at least from what I've seen just traveling, I know that in some cities, especially more prevalent in European cities, they have these almost like a porta potty type of unit. And what it is, it's a single.
I'd like something a little better built, but yeah, single cell, single.
Yeah, it's a single cell restroom, and with that,
in the wall, you use one person at a time.
Yeah, it's basically one person at a time.
You don't have.
It's built like a porta potty, but it's better built. Yeah. And usually people have to pay, I don't know, like $1 or €1 or something for it, and it's usually not a free public restroom. But apparently the rumors that it provides more protection, and then anybody can really use it.
Well, I can understand that it would, it makes some sense that it would provide better individuals. But on the other hand, if you had a room with private stalls, you feel like you have to have that. Although you're probably safer if you half dozen women in the bathroom, because there's somebody, if somebody's misbehaving, there's other people that. But
yeah, they'll provide the protection, all that.
They're making too big a deal about it. It's simply redesigned so that one person can fit in the stall, and that's it. And then it doesn't matter what they are, who they are.
All right. Well, I'll actually, at this point, I'll let you go, because I actually have to get ready for work and leave in about less than 30 minutes. And I'll let you go too.
All right. Yeah, you might want to put a brush through your hair.
Yeah, I do. I'll soon. But all right. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'll talk to you later, Sash.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.